I'm so excited. I'm looking at it, and it looks like we're in the right position.
So we have this wonderful person in our lives now.
Yes, we do.
Mariah, so we're going to call her out tonight. And she helped us. So now we're right-sized this time. Right-sized and right-sized wide. You know what I'm saying?
Correctly positioned
That's
on the
it.
screen. That's it.
And so we are healthy recipes served up on Livliga.
Yes, we are. And your name is?
Oh, here I am, Sheila.
And I'm Walt.
Yay, and he's actually in frame tonight because usually he's running around trying to make the screen work and trying to push live video. So here we are. We're together and we're here. And hopefully Nikki Massey is going to be joining us very shortly. We're so excited because the recipe that we're doing tonight is a weeknight Thai chicken curry recipe that is Nikki's. And one that
sounds really good.
I know. I'm so excited to do this and to share it with everyone because it's actually in our cookbook that we did with Nikki, and all the photos in the cookbook are with our Just Right set. And so tonight we're going to be featuring the Just Right set.
And all the photos are done by Nikki.
And they are. She's so talented. And we're so grateful. So we're going to try out one of the recipes in the cookbook and remind people that they can download it for free. And we're going to post that address so that you can see it online and be able to click on it. It's free and downloadable. There are recipes for breakfast and lunch and snacks and dinner. And we're doing one of the dinner recipes tonight. And we thought, since it was a weeknight, that doing the weeknight Thai chicken curry with cauliflower rice. Have you guys discovered cauliflower rice? I mean, who hasn't discovered cauliflower rice? So I'm doing a double batch because it's so good that we're leftover people. So like for tomorrow, for lunch, we'll be eating leftover. We're gonna roast the cauliflower. So, you know, Nikki can give us a hard time, but the recipe on our bag of cauliflower rice that I got at Walmart yesterday said for me to microwave it. And although that's super convenient and a lot of people like doing that, I'm just not a microwave my vegetables kind of gal. So we're gonna roast ours. And so as you know, as we're doing these recipes, I always change it up a little bit because life, what is life if you don't change it up a little bit?
Recipes are to be added to.
Yeah. So who's joined us? Anybody online that we can say hi to?
Nikki.
Oh, Nikki!
Oh, yay, Nikki!
Great.
Hi! Welcome. We're so excited to have you. We've been looking forward to it. And how fun that we're going to be featuring one of your recipes this week and also next week, because you very kindly shared a summertime recipe that is coming up, and we wanted to really think about Obesity Action Coalition and Your Weight Matters conference and kind of get people thinking about healthy lifestyle and good, delicious recipes from good friends like Nikki and hopefully Livliga because of the wonderful cookbook we did with you. And we're hoping you'll give us a lot of tips because honestly, this is not a recipe we've done a lot, and so we're hoping you'll give us some insight and give other people some good insight in terms of things to do or don't, or things that you do when you change up your recipe.
She left a tip.
Oh, already left a tip? What is?
Nikki did. She said use a cheesecloth to strain the extra water.
Oh, from the cauliflower rice? Yeah, my trick.
So we should say that so that people hear it.
Actually. Yeah, and it's online. She's written it. She's written it.
Okay.
So the one thing about the cauliflower, if you use fresh cauliflower, there's quite an extra number of steps with the cauliflower to get all of that moisture out. I buy the because actually one of the conferences I attended of the Your Weight Matters, I met a really wonderful woman, and when we did it in Seattle.
So has no sound?
And what? No sound?
Still come to that.
Ooh, dear.
Well, that would be bad.
That would be bad. So maybe we just don't have the. Do we have the volume up far enough? You know, I. So if you guys didn't turn it up.
Yeah.
Then. Sorry guys. Again, we have these challenges. See, there we go. So have you guys heard anything that we've said so far? Sorry about that. Hopefully you can hear us now. My testers did not test our volume, so at least we didn't start the recipe. So we may have started the conversation. You can, lip read.
Nikki can hear you, so we're
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Yay. So anyway, at Obesity Action Coalition, Your Weight Matters, a couple of years ago, I met this wonderful woman who had lost over 100 pounds and had bariatric surgery. A really lovely woman, and it's actually kind of a special story that I have to take a minute to tell.
Yes.
And but we got to know her and chatted with her, and she had never. We went on a walk, a morning walk, and it's the 5K that Obesity Action Coalition has done at Your Weight Matters, and she had never done a walk before because she had been so large, and her obesity had limited her ability, to move and to walk in a way that would be comfortable for something like a 5K. But she had lost all this weight, and she was ready to try it, but she was really scared because she'd never done something like this before. So we just said, come with us. We don't have any expectation. There's no race. We can saunter, we can stop, we can sit, we can talk. And actually we talked a lot. We had a wonderful time. We finished the walk, by the way. She did a fabulous job. And we had to keep up with her, if you want to know the truth.
Yes.
And but she told me that she had developed this wonderful pizza that has a cauliflower crust. And so she told me the tip about the cauliflower, which is the cauliflower rice that she got at Walmart. That's actually in the produce section.
Right, because it's
Thank you.
unfrozen,
So it's
right,
not the
fresh.
frozen. I think the frozen has more moisture in it, I'm betting. But she said get the one in the fresh area, and you don't have to do the extra moisture extraction.
Right.
And so every time I use cauliflower rice, I go to Walmart and I buy that cauliflower rice, and it works perfectly every time.
Yes.
So that's my tip on cauliflower rice is to go to Walmart and buy the fresh in the fresh produce section.
But
So-
we do have cheesecloth, just to
we
know.
do, just
That's
so
right.
you know.
So, Nick,
yeah,
that's right.
we
We're
wanted
set.
to.
We're ready. We
Yeah,
need-
so for some reason we end up with extra moisture. We're ready. So anyway, I kind of wanted to do a call out to Nikki since she's so kind to be here. But we met Nikki the very first time. Our very first conference that we ever did as Livliga. We didn't even actually have our product yet. We only had samples. Do you remember that?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it's actually a few years ago at this point. Maybe this is our 6th time? Is it about I think it's our
Yeah, I think
6th
so.
time for Your Weight Matters, and we're about to go at the end of next week or mid next week. So that's kind of why we're focusing on a dish that is for the bariatric community. But as Nikki will point out, and we will point out, healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, although we may be particularly mindful of a certain group or person, is really healthy for everybody. So this is a recipe that we're going to fix tonight, and everybody in our family who's here is going to be enjoying this recipe because it's just plumb good, and it's got good ingredients in it.
That's right. And we're looking forward to it.
Yes, we are.
And we will enjoy it. Yes.
And we will enjoy it.
Yes.
No, we will
No, we
enjoy
will.
it. Are you kidding?
Yes.
It's a Nikki recipe.
Yes.
So, do you remember Nikki when we first met? And she was so friendly and so welcoming and so knowledgeable.
Yes.
The thing about Nikki is that she's so willing to share her knowledge, which is why I think we were so lucky to pair up with her and do this cookbook, this e-cookbook. And this is one of the recipes from this cookbook. So I guess we can get started on doing the recipe. It's in again. If you get the link, you can download it right now. If you wanted to, you can get the whole e-cookbook, and the Weeknight Thai curry chicken with cauliflower rice is the recipe we're picking tonight. And she's got a wonderful photo that we put in here of what it actually looks like once it's done. I always find that helpful, don't you, when cookbooks actually show you what the recipe is supposed to actually look like.
Yes, right.
It might not look the same, but at least you have a goal.
Right.
And
an
what it's
attractive
supposed to look
picture.
like.
Yes,
And this is very attractive.
Yes, yes.
So the first thing the ingredients. So a half a medium yellow onion, and I went ahead, you know me, I try and get a little prepped ahead of time. So I did half of an onion, right?
Good job.
And diced
Excellent.
it. fine. I don't know finely if it constitutes finely, Nikki, but it was pretty. So we're gonna do 2 cups of shredded chicken, and I actually poached the chicken last night. I love poached chicken in the summertime because you end up with extra meat that you can use for this recipe.
What's one of your tricks? You will buy a whole tray of chicken,
Yeah, I will.
poach them,
Yep.
use the 2 that we're using for that recipe, and then have extra ones that during the week for lunch, for a sandwich, for whatever, for a salad. I mean, it's so great.
It's so good. And
tasty
the
and
thing
good.
that's also great is in the summertime, you get the heat over with all at once. And so tonight we're not having double heat. We're not cooking the chicken and
Right.
cooking the recipe that we're doing tonight. So that's saying the oven's ready for the cauliflower rice, which we'll put in there to roast in a minute. So anyway, I have a poaching chicken recipe on the Livliga blog, the Vibrant blog, and it's really simple. It's with chicken broth, and it's 2 pounds, I think, of your boneless chicken breasts, and
Boneless,
then
skinless
about
chicken
2 cups of chicken broth. Yeah, boneless, skinless, and then I put some wine in it. So I go to the little bottles of white wine.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna. There is actually an example in there. So I buy them. They come in the little carry-all, and that since we don't really drink much alcohol at all. I mean, Walt doesn't drink at all anymore, and I do on occasion. So these are handy for cooking because we just don't want to open up a whole bottle
so
of
it's
wine.
just a little tiny. It's really great. It's like 6 ounces.
And so it's basically a cupish, I want to say.
Yeah.
And so that's what I use when I'm poaching the chicken. And so I put that in there, a little tarragon, a little, the garlic chips, and then you bring it to a boil and cook it for about 15 minutes, and then your chicken is poached and it's ready to go, and it's, it's nice and moist and
And
good.
cooked all the way through.
So I use, Nikki calls for shredded chicken in her recipe. So I just take 2, I don't know, do you guys have other ways that you shred? Some people have those big claws, but I just take 2 forks and I just start pulling it.
Right.
And, it gets a little bit of my, if you had a hard day at work and you want to kind of
Get your aggressions
out, you can just kind of like pull the chicken. So I'm going to put it, since I think it's very important when people give you measurements that you measure. The one thing I was going to ask Nikki when we get to it is the sauce. I couldn't find low sugar sauce, so I was hoping you would share with us where you get yours or where you think we could find it. I ended up with just a regular, the sugar in it is, is it 18 grams? I want to say it was a little lower, 17 grams. So it's not the worst in the world. But I just kind of wanted to ask you if you had any wisdom about your curry sauce. And of course, I went first to the paste, and then I realized you were actually talking sauce. And I've actually not used a Thai chicken. What is it? What is it? Red
curry sauce.
Thai style red curry sauce. So that's different than what I normally get. So that was like really fun to find, and I'm really eager to try it. So, any comments that we should be sharing or commenting further on that Nikki's sharing?
Nikki said she just gets in with her hands.
Oh, you get in with your hands? All right, well, that's probably even better. It's more satisfying. I'm being a little medicinal, aren't I?
And a fourth of it ends up with her basset hound. Satisfied.
Oh, we have a Lily, but she can't have meat anymore. She's an old lady, so probably we need to be more careful. But yeah, probably end up in my mouth is probably what would happen if I got my fingers in there. Somehow it's always good when you got chicken or meat and you're carving it up. Doesn't it just look even better on the carving board?
It does.
Somehow it calls to you. You just want to like nibble it. But I'm refraining. I'm just saying. I'm on the straight and the narrow right now. So I'm trying to refrain.
We both are.
Yes, good for us. Yay!
I can come over.
Yeah, Cynthia is volunteering, of course. So I'm almost done.
So it looks like one breast.
Yeah,
is
your
what
breasts
you
are so huge anymore. I actually did get the Tyson, which are the never in any antibiotics. I paid up, so I have some really nice meat for this. Sometimes I don't do that. I just get the big,
humongous.
the family size. But I did do that, so, but they're still big, is my point. You know, often organic, they are smaller, but the Tyson really.
Maybe a portion of the other one.
What did you say?
Or are you going to do a portion of the other one?
Yes, not the whole thing, because we're supposed to do 2 cups.
Yeah.
I'm close, guys. So and the rest of this, I'm planning, I don't know if you can see the papaya over here, but I ended up with this ginormous papaya when I went to the grocery store, because you can never just go for, you know, the few items you need for that specific moment.
That's a papaya.
But it called to me. It said, Sheila, buy me. And so I did. So we're going to end up with chicken salad with papaya later on this week. So,
Yep.
so somehow Nikki's recipe inspired me to do some more good chicken recipes. So I think I'm just going to do one more little batch here, and then I think we're done, don't you?
Yep.
So our 2 cups. But it's kind of fun to shred it this way. It's sort of a little more earthy than, you know, some other.
Cutting it with a knife.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we got that done. Woo! The other thing I was going to cheat with, I have to confess, Nikki, is that I ended up cutting up some, well, this is actually an orange pepper, sweet pepper, just because I was really having a hankering for it, and I was talking to Mariah about that she just went on this really cool trip. You know, it was like a rafting trip, and they did a curry on the road, so they feed the whole group, and so there they were in the campsite, and they did a curry, and she happened to mention that they did pepper in it, and it just like called to me. So anyway, we're putting some, because we always have to break the rules, right, when it comes to cooking. So I've already cut up the 10, and I don't know, you guys, I have a hard time finding cherry tomatoes.
I think they're great.
The recipe calls for cherry tomatoes, but these are great.
Well, cherubs, says we.
Well, but they're long. They're like the grape tomatoes, so I figure they count. And I love grape tomatoes, so I cut those up. And then I'm so proud, we have cilantro from our garden. It's a little wispy looking because everything's kind of going to seed this stage of with heat and whatever. So if you want to know what cilantro looks like when it's really grown out, but we
and we all know that cilantro actually becomes coriander seed. So when these flowers actually end up creating the seed, that's then coriander.
Oh, another recipe.
Yep.
Woo! We could use that. So okay, so let's go back to. So we got the chicken shredded. We've got the bottle. This is actually more than what Nikki's recipe calls for. It says 11 ounces. This is like 13 ounces, so we're just not going to pour all of it in. And the cherry tomatoes we've got. The riced cauliflower we're going to put into roast as we're starting to cook in the pot. And then we've got the lime wedges ready. And then we are going to enjoy eating watermelon with the Thai curry chicken with cauliflower rice, so that will be our meal. So here we are, ready to start.
Okay.
So we're going to turn this on. Nikki says to get it nice and hot, so we're going to turn the cast iron skillet on and get it a little warm. And Nikki, do you still want to do a cooking class now that you've seen me in action?
She loves your kitchen.
Oh, good job. Yeah, we do too.
She said she really wants to be here, and
I do too.
We have a room for you.
In the kitchen and play with the recipe. And
yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
We would love it.
This would be good. So yeah, Nikki and I put together a cooking class that we proposed to do at a conference. And unfortunately, it wasn't accepted. I think we were a little ahead of our time.
That's right.
So I want us to do it again because I think we would have so much fun because we are, you know, as Nikki says, you've got to play with your food, right? And we're firm believers that that's part of the joy of life is learning to embrace and love cooking healthy. And the only way to do there is to get in there and do it and have fun with it. And that's kind of one of the big reasons we do this Facebook Live is because we're kind of a hoot and a howl, and you can see that you can make mistakes, you can, you know, you can change things up, you can
add
experiment,
what you want, that's right, do it your own way.
You know, and you can have your busy day and come home and still cook a healthy meal and in a simple way. I mean, really, when you look at what this recipe calls for, there are very
really
few ingredients,
yeah.
and so that makes it much more doable, and you could even cut the stuff up ahead of time. Sometimes it's nice when you're cutting things up to just go ahead and do it all at once and then have things ready to go, when you get home that night for dinner. So, okay, so we've got this heated up, I think. I'm gonna spray, I'm a big devotee of the spray for olive oil. So we're gonna do that. Oh, and we need to put the cauliflower in, I think.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, and then we'll put the timer on for like 10, do you think?
Okay.
Or just to check it?
Yep.
So go ahead and use the whole jar of sauce.
I should go ahead and use the whole jar? Okay, we'll go ahead and use the whole jar. Thank you. All right, we'll be brave. Use the whole. Okay, we're gonna put the onion in, and we're gonna cook that for a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think it helps clarify maybe. 1 to 2 minutes until sausage.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. And then I think we'll actually go ahead and put the pepper in too at the same time.
Okay.
It needs to kind of soften too, I think.
Great.
There's something about olive oil and vegetables cooking, even just the spray, that I just find.
Yeah, but add
some
an
garlic
onion
in
and
there.
garlic and yeah, that's it. Okay, there's
Oh,
your
thank you.
onions.
Don't
Your
get that in.
orange
So
peppers.
Orange peppers.
Yes.
It's just such a cheery color, that orange pepper.
It is. It'll be great with the red curry sauce. Okay, good.
Yeah, we gotta stir it up. And I think we've got this open. I think we put the chicken in next, right, Nikki? And then we've got, so the shredded chicken we mix in well with the onion and the pepper, and then we put the curry sauce in, add the tomatoes, and then we're gonna simmer for 10. So that's what the recipe calls for. And, the thing that's great, I actually did a little research about some of the ingredients that are in the Thai style red curry sauce, because I'm learning myself, right? That's what's good about trying new recipes, is that you kind of learn yourself. And I was really amazed about a couple of things that I thought were really interesting. So the chili peppers, we all know, which makes up part of, the sauce, are loaded with vitamins A, D, and C.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. And actually, I added the orange sweet pepper, and that is also loaded.
Really high in C, I know.
Really high in C. And it's anti-carcinogenic, great antioxidants, helps us detox, and it actually helps our metabolism. The other thing I thought was really interesting was Thai ginger. Are you helping me?
I'm just sorry. So,
Okay.
but Nikki also said, she said, I see you have instead of an Instant Pot I see on your counter.
I do see an Instant Pot.
She said, I don't have one yet. What do you think? So how honest are you going to be? What are you going to say?
Oh, I think, we're still learning a lot about an Instant Pot. But we have been trying out some recipes from another friend. And what we found is things that were like artichoke hearts.
Artichokes.
I'm sorry, I always say artichoke hearts, but the whole artichoke. We love those, and in the summertime they're really great. To put them in there, you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about the water burning out. And so it's really great for that kind of thing. Where we find it's not as great as when you have casserole kind of things. It's the same amount of time we find, and lots of steps to get it done. But for some people, they may just prefer it because it's really kind of a one pot. It's a big one pot.
But that both
Concept.
cooks things really quickly and allows you to saute.
It's not really quickly.
Well, it really is. I know. The trick is it takes a while to heat it up, and then it cooks, and then you have to cool it down.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
so
the heat up and the
depending
cool
on
down
the-
that maybe adds.
But the
that
cooking
to it.
time itself is
But
actually
like
much
rice,
more protein.
like brown rice, is fantastic.
Yeah.
It like turns out perfectly each time. Anyway,
But we're learning.
We're learning.
At the
and
moment, artichokes are a huge plus, just because.
we did a shredded chicken in it
Yeah.
that was kind of like a Korean shredded chicken meal the other day, and the chicken was delish. So, and it was easy. It was it was an easy meal. So,
I think you're.
are we ready?
you're
Okay,
at the
let's do it. Let's put the chicken in.
Soften stage.
Oh, this is looking good already. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So we're supposed to mix it all up with it. Okay, you do that.
Let me have the other
Oh,
one.
sure. And then we're going to put the sauce in, and we will do the whole jar, Nikki says. So we're
It
going to do
just
that. And
automatically
I'm going to turn
immediately-
it down a little bit. I think it's
I did
Oh,
already.
thank you. So So here we go. Oh, beautifulness. There we go.
Yeah.
See, the nice thing about this is then you don't have a little leftover something. I love meals and menus like this with a recipe. So then you just rinse it out and put it in the recycling bin, and there you go. You don't have to worry about what you do with that 2 tablespoons of leftover stuff in the jar. So we're gonna let that simmer. Oh, we're gonna put the tomatoes in. So let's put those in, and then see the top I have right there. We're gonna simmer for 10, and so then the cauliflower rice should be ready at the same time as the dinner. And this is it.
So am I dropping
is,
this down to a simmer?
Yes, you are.
Or medium?
Yes, she
Yeah.
says, I will read it specifically. It says, add curry sauce and drop the heat to low. Add tomatoes and stir. Cover the skillet and simmer about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then meanwhile, prepare the rice, which is what we're doing. And then we'll plate it. So going back to the benefits, I think the other thing that was really fascinating is that when you use Thai sauces, the curry sauce, it uses something called galangal. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But it's a Thai ginger, and actually technically it's not a ginger.
Yeah, I saw
And I
that.
thought that was really interesting, and that it's a root, and that it's been used for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's known to actually help folks with cancers.
Oh.
And I mean, this is something in Chinese medicine that's used regularly, and it also reduces chronic and specific forms of inflammation.
I thought you were going to say anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
The other
that's
thing,
really
did
good
you
thing.
mention also just the whole spiciness in summertime?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a good thing. So some people would wonder.
Well, you know, a spicy dish kind of makes you sweat. Why am I doing that if it's 90 degrees outside? Why are we having a hot
Why
spicy
are we
dish?
having a hot, spicy meal?
But in fact, Sheila, you know, was in the Peace Corps at one point and in Africa for 2 years, and they had lots of spicy food.
Oh yeah, pili pili, you guys, that is the hottest pepper that exists in the world. It burns your mouth.
And one of the reasons is it actually keeps you healthy, right?
It does. It's a couple of things. One is that spicy foods make you sweat, and what I learned was that when you sweat, it actually helps regulate your body heat, so it actually cools you down. And so when you're living in very hot climes, and right now, I don't know about you, but we are living in very hot climes. It's like 90 to 100 degrees around here. And we were in Florida last week.
And it was really hot.
Oh, wow, and humid. So it actually does, and when you think about it, a lot of the countries in the equator, they all have hot, spicy foods.
Yeah, right.
And that is really the source of that. In addition, I learned actually from Peace Corps people that spicy foods actually clear your gut out of living creatures,
There you
let's
go.
just say. So, you know, little meebs, little, you know, whatever might want to grow in there because it's too spicy for them. So it was known in French as a vermifuge. So I've now told you more than you want, but fortunately I'm eating dinner, you're not. And but it is kind of interesting, isn't it? Spicy foods are actually a great thing to have in the summertime, and plus they're tasty and delicious.
Keep you cool, keep you healthy.
Keep you cool,
Hey,
keep you healthy. I
well,
like that.
that's a new-
that's
hey,
a
it's
new
another little
marketing
line.
phrase
That's-
right
that's
here,
it.
right now. So yeah, no, that is a very good point. And the other thing then to kind of go over as we're waiting for this, did you
Yes.
just put 10 minutes
I
on?
put 10 minutes
You
on
did.
here,
Thank you.
and I put 10 minutes on here. We've got 3 to go on this.
So this particular recipe, as we've kind of already talked about, but it is bariatric friendly, and there are a couple of reasons why it is. I mean, obviously Nikki, who is herself a post-op of a number of years now, so she's got it down, and she's gone through so many different life learning phases. But it's also the portion sizes, and so not only is it what we fix, and depending on your stage, I mean, Nikki's the first one to say, not everybody can eat all foods, no matter when. I mean, sometimes when you're right after post-op, obviously you're eating very different foods than a few years out, and some people tolerate different foods. So this may or may not work for you, but chances are it's worth trying. If you're I hope, Nikki, you will chime in on this. If you're at that stage of ready to be more adventuresome with your food and try different taste sensations and heat in your food. Although I don't think this is going to be as spicy as maybe some other things. So we'll be good taste testers for that.
It smells really good. Like,
And so, and then although it is bariatric friendly, it's really friendly for anyone who wants to eat delicious food in right-sized portions. And then it's easy to prepare. We've been talking about that, how this particular recipe has very few ingredients, and most of them, I mean, like the jar of the curry sauce, it's ready for you to use. So it is definitely a weeknight kind of dish that's easy to prepare. And then the meat is going to be moist and succulent because we poached it, and Nikki mentioned using roasted chicken. So that would be really good too, because you could have roast chicken for a meal and then use the leftovers for this. And again, in the summertime, I love the idea of repurposing things, so I don't have more heat or more cooking, and just the ease of doing it. We also, again, the leftovers. I don't know if we're gonna have a whole lot left over tonight, but this kind of a meal to me is a great one to be able to take to work the next day, heat up, and have a delicious meal. I mentioned the poaching of the chicken, and that is a recipe. I don't know if we've been able to post the link to that from our Live Vibrant blog, but I think Mariah's gonna do it or has already done it, so that you can know that recipe that's, again, very simple and has very few ingredients in it. And then, basically in terms of complication, you get that done, or you buy a roasted chicken, you put these ingredients together, simmer for 10 minutes, roast your cauliflower, which we're doing, and I didn't add anything to it. It's just in there as cauliflower roasting.
If we did it on a normal pan, we would have sprayed some olive oil on it.
Yeah, but we use those USA pans that you don't have to do anything because they're already tempered.
So it's just totally plain.
Yeah. So that's it. That's kind of those 3 steps that you can, and you can do them at different times. So again, for convenience,
right.
I poached the chicken at a different time than doing the actual dinner. So and then making it a meal. I think to me that's one of the most important things, and what we always make sure to do when we're doing these Facebook Lives is to talk about meals, because really it's putting the whole meal together and keeping the whole meal healthy. Mm-hmm. And I learned that kind of the hard way. In the olden days, I had discovered this wonderful vegetarian, which we've actually done in one of our Facebook Lives, a vegetarian lasagna. I'm so proud of this. It's actually a really good lasagna recipe with zucchini. Right. So particularly this time of year, if you've got a garden and you're growing a lot of zucchini, this is a really good recipe. But I did it, and I was so proud. But then I went and got store-bought garlic bread, slathered with that butter, and store-bought dressing for the salad, and totally ended up, once I researched and saw what I did, I mean, I had completely failed.
Blown the calories out.
Blown it. And that's when I learned how to do grilled garlic bread that we love. It's so delicious, and my own homemade dressings, and it makes a world of difference. Right. So cooking is really, to me, about owning our own health, truly, because when you buy that store-bought stuff, you don't, and it's hard to, because just like in this recipe, I couldn't find the low sugar. That would have been so good. I don't think I got us in too much trouble, but it's that kind of thing that.
Did Nikki tell us where we could get it?
Did she recommend where to get it?
She said that she just looks at the sugar intake on the bottles. It isn't a specific one.
Okay.
But
All right,
she also
good.
said that you can make your own if the sugar's too much for your tolerance.
There you go. See, thank you for that, Nikki. That is a really good suggestion. Again, speaking to what I just spoke to, which is making your own.
Right.
And then I did look at the bottle, and
you did get the best you could.
Yeah, and I did. So, phew, I passed that test.
They asked about your dog.
Did you see about Lily?
Saw the cone of shame.
So we're not calling it a cone of shame. We call it a cone of fame in this family because she's famous in the neighborhood because of her cone. So Lily is 13 years old, and she's a sweetheart, and she had a sister. They were litter mates, so we had a Lily and a Winnie. Forever. And Winnie unfortunately passed away this past fall, and Lily started licking her paws because she missed Winnie so much. And she couldn't stop. She doesn't know how to stop, and we have, believe me. If you guys have suggestions, though, but we have tried oregano oil. We have tried We tried. We got it all over Cynthia's room. It smelled like spaghetti, you know, and pasta for
kids.
months.
Yeah.
But we unfortunately we can get the cone off of her for a little while, but then it's got to go back on because she just doesn't know how to stop herself. So anyway, so it's her cone of fame, and it doesn't seem to stop her, and I guess she thinks she's rather stylish with her cone on. So
it's her bonnet.
it's a little bonnet.
Yes.
So that's our Lily. She's an English Springer Spaniel, and she is a sweetheart. She can't see much, can't hear much, but she can still lick. So that's the story.
People are seeing a lot more. Where would you even see Lily?
I know, she must have been walking around.
She walked behind you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, usually you don't see Lily walking around, but this is a family operation, so everybody's involved when we do
Right.
these Facebook Lives. So how are we doing on time? We're 13 seconds away. I can't wait to try this. And how is our
Well, that's
cauliflower?
that 15 minutes that it's been in, but it looked perfect.
I think it's great.
So,
Okay, let's turn it off,
Great.
and we can get it
I'll
out.
turn this off.
So I'm going to move this out
Okay,
of the way.
got it.
And so here's our cauliflower. And it smells like cauliflower.
Mm-hmm.
And it really doesn't look wet. I mean, I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think we're fine. And again, it's that Walmart cauliflower that I was told about. And
And are you
so
gonna
we're,
shoot this
as Nikki says, I think we're doing a quarter cup of the rice and a quarter cup of the curry mixture.
And so you have almost
I
those two
have
things there.
a quarter cup. And this is very exciting, as Nikki will tell you, because when she did the first review on the Bariatric Foodie about our Live Spoons, we started out with just 4, and it was a cup, 3/4 cup, half cup, and the 1/8 cup, because those are the standard serving sizes that map to our standard plates, not specifically for bariatric use. And she was the first one to say, it would be really great if you could have a quarter cup and a 1/3 cup. I think you mentioned that too. And so we took that to heart, and as she will tell you, we did that with the bariatric set as well, which we launched a year ago. And I think she was, in fact, one of the first to review it. And then after we launched that, we launched our bariatric flatware, because the bariatric community asked for it, and we listen. And I guess if there's one thing I'm really proud of with Livliga is that we have gone to these different conferences. We've listened to people who are living and walking the walk and have specific needs that fit to what we can do as Livliga with our right-sized healthy lifestyle tableware. And so anyway, we just came out with and launched our 1/3 cup and quarter cup size of our Live Spoons. So tonight, for the very first time, we can actually serve up that quarter cup with our actual quarter cup Live Spoon. We don't have to do 2 8 cups, which is what, Nikki was saying she had to do to begin with.
And Laura Preston just said that she just got her new Live Spoons this week, and she loves them. Thank you, Laura.
It is
so
pretty
happy.
fun,
Yes,
it is.
yes,
It's
yes.
so exciting. Okay, so we ready to serve up?
Yep.
So we're going to do it in our just right set. We're going to do this beautiful amount of cauliflower, and then we're going to go over here.
Let me take that off.
Yeah, and you can probably turn that off
Yep.
too. Did you stir it up recently?
Not recently.
Okay, let's stir it up. Oh, this looks so pretty, Nikki.
And it smells
oh,
so good. It's really
And
fragrant.
it does. It's interesting. It smells lemongrassy and gingery, even though I don't know if actual ginger is in this. Well, I can't remember the ingredients. I know, but I actually wrote down the ingredients because I really wanted to research this. And so it's got garlic, lemongrass, the Thai ginger, and it actually has how do you say it? Kaffir lime, which I think is interesting. It says spices in general,
Yeah.
so but
I think
it really
Kaffir.
smells
K-A-F-E-R, Kaffir, I think.
Kaffir.
Oh, Kaffir.
Yeah. See, I'm learning all sorts of things.
Kaffir.
So
I think
here is the quarter cup, which is smells really good. And then we get to use some of our little bit of homegrown cilantro that hasn't wilted in or seeded out. And then we're supposed to serve it with a little bit of lime here.
Perfect. Oh, that's so
And
good.
So we're gonna do that. So you're gonna go show everybody, and then
Sure.
we're gonna try it out, and we're gonna use Cynthia. You wanna come and try it out?
Yep. There.
So we'll get our forks out.
So here's our presentation. Let me see. Where are you?
Can you see?
Did you guys see?
They're pretty. And I think it looks pretty much like how it's supposed to. What do you think? Nikki, did we do okay?
Nikki had more cilantro. But
Yeah, okay. Well, she was. I don't think it was homegrown in the middle of the summer. Okay, here we go.
Yum.
I'm gonna try it out.
See how hot it is.
Mmm.
Good.
This is really good.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
it's
to.
spicy, but it's not. It's not hot, but it is spicy. You know, I don't know. Oh, I didn't get any of the rice with that.
I went down.
Oh, you're so smart. Okay, well, Cynthia's the true test.
Oh, it's really good.
Mmm.
Mm.
That was really good. Nikki, good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of proud of us for. So this is gonna be a little spicy. You want to try too? Alright. You game?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably too big for you. Because what if it's too spicy for you? You ready for this one? Do you want some of the rice too?
Sure.
Okay, blow on it so you don't.
It is hot.
Spicy but not good, right?
One bite so far.
Yeah, one bite so far. So I think it's delicious. We have different palates in the family, and Cynthia tends to not like the spicy hot, so she's a good tester. For
She's
somebody
almost
who's wondering
delicate,
whether this
yes.
would be too spicy, I think she's saying
I'm
that
weird.
it's spicy, but it's not too hot.
I'm weird. Some spices I like and some spices I don't. So
Right. So here we have it. So we have this delicious meal
Yes.
that
Yes.
we prepared out of the Bariatric cookbook that we did partnering with Nikki Massey, aka Bariatric Foodie, and we paired this, and it's the Weeknight Thai curry chicken with cauliflower rice, and we've done some watermelon with that. And this is our Tuesday night dinner.
Yeah,
You got
it looks fabulous.
Yeah, it really is wonderful, and we are so excited to offer it, and
Nikki
hope you'll get to
says-
try it out.
Nikki now says, "Okay, now I'm hungry."
Oh, okay. You're
That's
hungry.
good, that's good.
Exactly,
That's the
exactly.
plan.
And so, you know, I just want to remind everybody that, you know, if you want to right size your eating, don't forget to go to livligahome.com. We have recipes on our website as well as on our Live Vibrant blog. And Nikki is going to have a recipe next week on that for summertime. And we have other summertime recipes, so if we're getting inspired, to please go look. And I think we have that posted on this thread, so you guys can check that out. And then next month,
Right. So
we are going to be doing it on August 27th, so we want everybody to know that and come join us. And again, it's going to be sort of a get out of your summer doldrums recipe. And how does a refreshing, cool, no cook, no heat in the kitchen, gazpacho
Oh, I
sound?
love gazpacho. That's
So,
great.
Yeah. So
Good.
we have a really great gazpacho recipe that we want to share with you all. And again, you know, these hot summer months, we want to support each other in keeping healthy, staying healthy, still cooking, but not doing it in a way that's so hard and hot.
Yeah. Oh,
in
that's
summer.
great. Excellent.
So, all right, we're gonna go have dinner. As you know, these are healthy recipes served up on Livliga, so now we're gonna get to serve it up and go eat it for dinner.
So thank you all for joining us. It's been
Thank
lots of fun
you.
for us.
So fun seeing everybody. Thank you, Nikki, again for joining us, and love seeing everybody. And hopefully we'll see many of you in person.
Coming up in about 10 days.
Yeah, because July 31st, we travel to Tampa, Florida for the Your Weight Matters conference. So we can't wait to give everybody hugs in person, and we'll see you then. So
Excellent.
take care, and until next month. Bye.